Started here. Okay, so we're recording, and like I said, anything like even this part I'm telling you now, it's probably going to be cut out, so don't worry about that. So, all right. So if you can, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Teresa Cooper. I'm a food and nutrition scientist from San Francisco, California. I work for Cliff Bar and Company in Emeryville, California, right across the bay. And I was a member of the QHSC Medical Mission 2022.
Had you ever been on a medical mission, or I'm sorry, a mission prior? Well, let me rephrase the question because, like I said, I can cut that out. Had you ever been on a mission prior to the mission with Dr. Gaboni QHSC?
No, never. I have never, and I'd always wanted to. So this was an amazing opportunity.
Okay, so and what did you spend most of your time doing? I guess could you just kind of describe for us or tell us what you were doing? I know you told us you worked for Cliff Bar
Sure.
and stuff like that. So.
Sure. We had a lot of preparation actually before the trip. So I worked with my good longtime friend, Kristen Bahuniak, who is a teacher from upstate New York. We worked to prepare a nutrition lesson, a basic nutrition lesson geared towards the foods that are available to the kids in Tanzania. So we did that preparation work before the trip. And then it kind of divided it into three parts. So there was the nutrition lesson, and then there was kind of accumulating um, snacks in the form of Cliff Bars that we could give once we were there at the school. And then the third part was fundraising for the feeding program, which was providing lunch to the school for the 2 weeks while we were there presenting our nutrition lessons. So that's what we were working towards. And while we were there, we spent time at the Minazini School in Dar es Salaam, going into each classroom from kindergarten to seventh grade, giving a lesson on nutrition, a very simple lesson on the basic nutrients, and discussing foods that were healthy foods that were available to the kids, and then also kind of overseeing. We were able to provide the lunch for the kids for the time period while we were there, so we were involved in just overseeing what was going on there, and watching the kids enjoy lining up for their lunch, which was just totally amazing. Um, and then we did other educational outreach, like dental hygiene and hand washing lessons with the kids, which was also great. But it was such a great experience. The kids were just wonderful.
And how did the children enjoy the Cliff Bars? I'm assuming that they were not familiar with Cliff Bars prior to, to your arrival.
No, they weren't. They were really excited. Well, the kids, first of all, the kids were so appreciative and grateful for everything that we did. Whether it was handing out just a few crayons and a few notebooks, or the Cliff Bars. They were super excited about them. They weren't sure at times how to open what it was, like how to open the wrapper. Some kids were biting on the wrapper, but they loved it. They really enjoyed it, and I did notice that they seemed very active after we gave them that nutritious snack. So I think the energy bar concept worked with them.
Yes, the activity got so hard. I mean, it got so high that I think sometimes it was kind of hard to contain. So they were very energized. So
Yeah, they were energized, and luckily, the group that was playing games and kind of doing the physical education piece, like it fed in really well with that, because they had a lot of energy for the activities that they were going to do out on the schoolyard. So
Okay, and then hold on one second. I'm going to switch to speaker view. So as we're recording here, when you're speaking, you'll have the whole screen as opposed to us sharing the screen. And I know Dr. Gavoni usually prefers that. So but that way, you know, we have a combination of, I guess, different angles or images or sizes or whatever and stuff like that. So right now for the recording, I can only see you because we're the
Okay.
only two here. Um, but my image is, I guess you can see my image on the top if, or are you on speaker view or are you just a gallery?
I can see both of us. I can see you while you're speaking, and then the small part of myself. Um, I think
Okay.
it's fine though. I
Okay.
don't,
Yeah, yeah, yours it's recording on this side, so it's just to let you know. So
yeah. Okay.
all right,
Cool.
so what was a typical day like when you arrived at the Minnesini Primary School?
Oh my gosh, just thinking back on it, how um, heartwarming it was. I mean, we would get there early in the morning on the bus, and we usually had about 3 or 4 backpacks full of Cliff Bars and other materials that we were going to use for the day. The first day that we got there, we were treated like we were rock stars. Like the kids were just so excited to see us there on site, and they wanted to come up and greet us and everything. Um, so then, after we arrived, we would usually kind of meet in one of the teachers' lounges, and just to kind of get ourselves set up. And then we would learn about, which classroom we were to go to for the day. We had, our lesson prepared. We had in notebooks, so that we were just kind of using the notebooks to do the lesson without any visuals or anything. There was one day though that we were able to use a projector, and I think the group was able to find like a plywood board to set up as the screen for the class, which was which was nice. But then it would be giving several classroom lessons on nutrition during the day. The kid in every classroom, and it wasn't just about our lesson. It was about kind of getting to know each other and greeting us. The kids were so incredibly respectful. I think and I was just amazed at how many kids were in each class, and that it was so well done, like from the teacher's point of view, like everyone was engaged and paying attention, and of course they were energetic, but it was just a really, really great environment. And it was so interesting to see how at a school where they have so little, that those kids were getting a really good education, and they were um obviously like really engaged in what they were doing. So I was very impressed with actually with the school and the teachers and all of the students. um so yeah, so we would have a few classrooms each day, and then usually a break for lunch, and then we would go and help out with the other activities, like the physical education that was going on out on the lawn. And let's see, and help out with the vision screening if we needed to. But and maybe can I stop there? Sorry.
No, no, that's fine.
Sorry.
And then I
Um,
would add that I think we do have some pictures of you and Miss Kristen doing vision screening, and you participated in a lot. So, like you said, the sports activities, and then at the end with the prevention, dental, and hand washing hygiene and all that stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, I mean, those were even areas that you were, I don't know if you were planning on working in those areas, but those were areas in which you kind of jumped in and you pitched in and stuff like that. So that's that was very noble again. So it was appreciated. So and then so the food program, I think you mentioned feeding the children lunch. What was the story behind that?
Yeah, so I think this year, so this was new for QHSC. Um, and by the way, with QHSC, like one of the things that is really amazing to me is how um, we were able to see an immediate impact, like from going from just kind of thinking about a food feeding program to seeing it happen in real life, and seeing 800 kids getting lunch right before your eyes was
Mm,
just incredible. Like that was amazing. So we had, you know, I think the nutrition feeding program was was kind of new for QHSC. This is the first time that it's been done. QHSC had gone into schools in previous years, but never a nutrition program, to this extent. So I think we had lofty goals. Like we really wanted to be able to provide, initially breakfast for the school for an entire year. um, it was a little bit, you know, difficult. We didn't have much time prior to the trip to get to that level of being able to provide a meal for an entire year for the whole school. So we gradually kind of pared it down to something that we felt was achievable, which was providing at least one meal, which was lunch for the time period that we were there. So we were able to raise the funds, to get that done. And like I said, the impact was just immediate and so beautiful to see. All the kids brought containers from their homes that they could fill for the lunch. And I guess, like, stepping back for a second, like just describing the conditions that were available for preparing lunch was very, very primitive. A, basically an empty building with a dirt floor with some an open fire,
yes.
wood on the floor. We were able to hire two cooks to provide rice and beans or rice and cabbage in alternating menus from day to day. But just to see that so much could be made out of so little was just incredible. And the kids loved it. They couldn't wait to fill their containers every day with whether it was rice and beans or rice and cabbage. Was just amazing. I remember one of the days I was standing near the um, the teachers who were serving the lunch. The cooks had completed, they were ready to serve, and this was like a big, like, steel pot.
Right, right.
They're full of rice and one full of beans, to serve. And the teachers rang the bell for the kids to come, and there was just a stampede of kids running towards the rice and beans. It was just amazing. And then to see the smiles on their faces, um, just gave me, I don't know, just a sense of joy, that they were so grateful and so happy, for just that little bit of food. So
And then why do you think QHSC, especially yourself included, because you were part of the team, uh, why did they prioritize or set such large goals for the food program? I mean, the feeding,
well,
yeah.
cute. Well, I just think, well, thinking about Dr. Gabon and QHSC, I mean, I think she has boundless energy, and she has such a big heart. And I think she wants to do as much as she can, you know, while she's there, and make the most of these trips in every way. So I think that you know, she wants to continue to grow this program in every aspect, from the medical side of things, as well as the education and the nutrition program. And she has the ability to impact immediately, as we saw. Like and this that's what was so exciting to me about this trip. Like we had been working prior to the trip to raise the funds, but then to see it actually in action in front of your eyes was incredible. I mean, I was so excited to be able to share with my friends, you know, back here in San Francisco, all of the photos from the trip, and the smiles on the faces of the kids, and the wonderful food that they were getting. You know, that, hey, I saw this taking place before my own eyes. I just think that Dr. Gabon, she never stops, and she wants to continue growing and growing and growing, and impacting as many kids as she can with her work.
Yes. Yeah, that's good. And I believe there was some discussion, I think, prior to in reference to the I guess the nutritional or the food consumption of the children, um, or the current levels of nutrition that the children were that or the nutritional conditions that the children are living under, so to speak. So
Yeah. While we were there, as part of the vision screening, they detected in several kids evidence of vitamin A deficiency, as an example. So while we were there, we tried to, you know, incorporate foods that provide vitamin A, like, you know, there, we were able to get a little carrots added to the rice recipe, which was really good. And we tailored our nutrition lesson also towards getting kids thinking about what foods they have available where they could get vitamin A. So that was definitely one thing that was noticed, that should be highlighted, you know, in future trips. So, and then also trying to make sure that the kids have some source of protein in their diets, and not just carbohydrates. So it was a nice example of being able to kind of adjust and tailor our messaging as we went along, like in partnership with the medical team.
oh, that sounds good. That was a great pivot on behalf of the team there to kind of, you know, beef up or, you know, strengthen the diet that was being provided to them. So and then for
Yeah.
yourself, what would you say was your favorite moment for the whole trip?
Oh,
Nutrition
for the
or whatever, it doesn't matter. What was your favorite, or what did you enjoy? One moment.
Oh my gosh. I think it would have been in the second grade classroom when we were distributing the Cliff Bars, and the kids were performing a dance for us that had different animals in it. So they were like um, doing different hand motions for different animals, and they were just so incredibly joyful. And also the teachers were participating as well. Like, it was just so fun to see how the interaction between the teachers and the kids. I mean, it was really, you know, based on a love for each other. You could really see it in action, and we just felt like we were a part of it too. We got swept up in all of that, and yeah, to me, it was just an example of you know, just being grateful for what you have and approaching your day with joy. I think sometimes we forget, um, you know, how to do that here in the U.S. where we have so much. So.
Oh, that's nice. And I guess I must have missed that moment then because I didn't even.
I think we have some good pictures of it, and maybe even some videos. But there was just so much positive energy coming out of the classrooms.
Good. And I think I'll figure out a way because I did videotape. Remember, I videotaped the presentation with the PowerPoint. So I'll try to see if I can. I'll look for it because remember we have like thousands of pictures and videos. But I think I can find it, and I'll see if I can send it to you or share it with you somehow, and those other two pictures as well.
Yeah.
Because I see you're at work over there. So I'll give you some more fuel for your fire there.
Yeah,
And then I have like
definitely.
so one final question. If you had to give advice to someone who has not gone on a mission with QHSC or maybe never even been on a medical mission, what advice would you give them?
I would say take every opportunity you can to go. Say yes and go. It's a life-changing event, and to be able to go with a team like QHSC and be able to not only get to see and learn about a culture that maybe you're not familiar with, but to actually connect with people on such a you know I don't know, such a personal level. um I don't think you get to do that, and if you're just taking a vacation, or maybe with some of the larger groups like with QHSC, you form bonds with not only your volunteer group but with the people there in Tanzania, and you get to know them personally. I'm still getting text messages from multiple people from Tanzania that I met on the trip. Um, so it's a really, really special opportunity to be able to do that, and you're there to help, but you're also there to learn from the people there
Hmm,
about a completely different way of life, and it is eye-opening, and it's something that you will remember for the rest of your life.
excellent, excellent. So I'm gonna leave it at that because it's a lot of work there. It's a lot of work. I know you're like I said, I try to make it as easy and as relaxing as possible, but it's still, you know, it still pulls a little energy out of you, so to speak. But and
Yeah.
once like right now, once this meeting is over, you know, the Zoom will save it and all that stuff. Then I'm gonna upload it to YouTube. It's gonna be unlisted. I'll send you the link, and then you can actually see it yourself and go over it and stuff like that. And then you have that video as well. If there's anything from that you want to use or whatever the case is. And
Okay.
try to see if I can get you those pictures. And I think there's a video of it too, like I said, with the smoke rising out of it. And what was the other one? Oh, the video from the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
So,
Cool. Sounds good.
well, and then what's your
Oh,
email? Let me stop the recording. Hold on.